Good evening, and here is the news from the Camerados movement around the world, with me, Matt Potts, in the office of the Association of Camerados. Let us begin for those of you who do not know what a Camerado is, and for this we are going to Rotherham, to the Coleridge Camerados at a primary school.
Camerado to me is someone just to be there, not like necessarily a friend, just someone to be there when you're upset and sad.
They won't always have to fix problems, they can just help you out and make you feel better.
But if you say rubbish, then they cheer you up.
When they're near you and you're feeling really sad, they can always keep you company.
And thank you to our correspondents there from Coleridge Primary School, the Coleridge Camerados. For many people, the Camerados movement takes the form of a public living room, a place that you can go on good days and bad to be alongside people, where it's okay to be a bit rubbish, no one's fixing each other, no solutions, often a cup of tea, some fairy lights. But due to the pandemic, we have not been able to get together in person, and some of you may know that for a year now, we've been running an online public living room called Spoon Room. Spoon Room continues to be a great place and a bit of a lifeline every Wednesday evening and Saturday morning for people who attend the one hosted by our team. But there are Spoon Rooms in other organisations and other countries. Indeed, there's one in German and some in America. There's been one in New Zealand and one in Portugal, etc.
This is my spoon, and I've been joining events like Spoon Rooms, and it's really, really good for talking and getting support and being with like-minded people and to talk about some of the challenges.
Also during the pandemic, people have been starting something called Over a Brew, which takes the form of a knitting group over a cup of tea. Sometimes it'll be a book club, which has just started. There's talk of a film club, an activity so that people aren't just coming, as they do in Spoon Room, meeting strangers and talking about their week. Others like to do an activity, they prefer it. So we've started the Over a Brew. Alongside Spoon Room and Over a Brew, we've also started something called House Party, which has been a really big success. People come along and basically dance in their living room with lots of other people on Zoom with some DJs. And you can click into other rooms around the house and hear some performance poetry or take part in a workshop for graffiti, street art, sticker making, or go into a chill out room. Often in the dance room, which is very popular, you will also learn some moves from a disco queen or other assembled expert. So House Party is a big hit. Stick it on the corner of your kitchen worktop and have a boogie with other people. Sometimes it's good just to be dancing, not being alone, and having a good Friday night. So that is one of our many contributions to social justice, as is the introduction of puppetry.
Becky, guess what? Camerados are having another house party this weekend, Friday, May 14th. I'm getting my eyebrows did, especially for it. The Golden Arches. Are you coming?
Well, I can't come. On Saturday I've got my assessment for my mental health and they can't see me having fun and being happy. They expect me to look ill.
Becky, you always look ill. Come along. You can wear your pajamas.
Yes, we're very proud to introduce puppets to social justice, as we have done in our TV shows, which ran throughout December to help people through a very lonely month and the toughness that is Christmas. And also January, working with People's Voice Media, fantastic people, who helped us gather stories from around the country using funding from the Emerging Futures Fund. Stories about what was going on in people's lives during the pandemic and what they hoped for in the future. Everything from isolation and loneliness to technology to family to reconnecting with nature, and even massive subjects like structural inequality.
A lot of people from Black and ethnic minority communities, they had to work, especially at the beginning. They were the bus drivers, they were the people on the front line, before, driving the trains, doing all the stuff and being put at risk. or at more risk. And I think, COVID has highlighted some of those structural inequalities.
A particular highlight of mine was a TV show discussing these heavy topics, hosted by a man in drag and a beaver. Personally, I prefer a panda. So what's coming up? Well, very excitingly, we're embarking on a summer tour soon. Please get involved. We may be coming to a community near you and filling the streets with Camerados activity. It's still being worked out, but if you want to get involved, please get in touch. If you would like to host over a brew about a subject, please do get in touch. We can give you some support with that. Most of all, if you'd like to run a spoon room or public living room, we really would love to hear from you. Public living rooms are starting to happen again, and we have a public information film that will hopefully give you some tips on doing it safely. Here is a clip.
Calling all Camerados! It's time to return to our public living rooms. Now more than ever, strangers need a place to look out for each other.
One of the most exciting developments is that we have recruited successfully to the Camerados Council. This is a group of people from the movement who want to get more involved and support and challenge our tiny staff team to support the movement even better. This is really exciting because we're challenging notions of governance. Instead of an ivory tower with a board of trustees, we have movement members who support and challenge us as we go in monthly calls with the team, and also people who publish a mission reflection once a year to say what they think of us, which goes to all our stakeholders and hopefully holds us to account and is much more independent than, say, an annual review. So we're so excited to have our council members, and they will be coming along to Open House. What is Open House? What is Open House? Well, I'll tell you what. Yes, I'm excited. Are you excited too? Yes. Open House is an event where you can come and just ask anything about the movement. We have lots of things going on, particularly around our principles. If you don't know, we have 6 principles which help people connect and get through tough times. And they are pretty tough sometimes to follow, and we'd love a debate about that. And we'll be discussing all sorts of things about growing the movement, what people think and what they would like to see happen at Open House on the 6th of May. Please come along. One of the most exciting projects we've been involved in is growing Camerados in primary schools. We've seen them in hospitals, in universities, in FE colleges, in community centres, in parks and prisons, all over. But seeing people under 11 in primary schools embrace Camerados has been fantastic, because quite often kids are just the best humans. They seem to grasp our principles far better than adults. And following a series of assemblies, we then, due to the pandemic, took everything on Zoom, and we did some assemblies on Zoom involving a piano and music and also dance. Catherine, our arts activist, got everybody doing Dance Captain to bring the principles to life through the miracle of dance. And they were fantastic, and we're grateful to all the schools for taking part. We had a roundup with the schools after the pilot project, and I'm excited to say that every single school wants to continue to be part of the movement and help us shape the next step. You're very dusty, aren't you? All sorts of questions going forward as a movement. When people receive a box, can you see the boxes over there? Public living room in a box. Do they need some form of training? We normally avoid the training word, but perhaps there's something we can be doing to share some of the lessons that we've learnt along the way and connect with other public living rooms. We're also looking at the idea of a drop-in session every Friday where people can come along and just ask anything that they're battling with. And if no one comes, then I just sit and have a cup of tea on my own. So we'd love to hear your ideas and how we can do it better. Come along to Open House on the 6th of May. So that's all we have time for. Thank you for joining me. It's good night from me, and it's good night from him. And if you're going through a tough time, remember, be a Camerado and be more human. Good night.
Last night a DJ saved my life. Last night a DJ saved my life, yeah. 'Cause I was sitting there bored to death, and in just one breath he said, you gotta get up, you gotta get off, you gotta get down, girl.